Good morning, day 193, cooking down the freezer, refrigerator, and working pantry. So today, I'm finally going to do that mint. I got my dehydrator out of the basement, but I think I'm going to do it outside. The last time I dehydrated mint, the smell was so strong it lingered in my house for days. And not that I don't like the smell of mint, but it was really, really pungent. So I think I'm going to do it outside on my deck, and hopefully I'm sure the smell will come in the house too, which is fine, but it won't be quite as overpowering. So I've been watching The Time Traveler's Wife. It's on HBO. It also has a movie, and it's really, really good. It's a series on HBO, and I'm really enjoying it. So if you have HBO, give that a look. You might like it too. So today I'm going to do a little bit more on my other shelving. I have a lot of little cubbies that I bought from Mark's. They were like $5.99 a piece. And I bought them a while back with the thought in mind that I was going to use them in my kitchen for herbs. And since I have herbs in my garden that I'll be drying, I'm going to use those little Dollar Tree candle holders that look like mason jars. And I'm going to put my herbs in there, and each drawer holds 2 of the little mason jars. So it's going to be a little project that I'm doing. It'll be functional, and I can use it for organizing my kitchen. And since that's the project I'm on at the moment, is organizing my kitchen and purging and restyling, I need to start working on that and putting up the shelves on my other wall. So slowly I'll be working on that project, and I don't know how long it'll take me to get it done. I surprised myself with my other shelves and got it done pretty quickly, but this one's a little more involved because I have to glue all those little cubbies together, and I'll show you in a little while what I'm doing. So in the meantime, this morning I think I'm going to try and cook up those breakfast sausages that I put together yesterday. I didn't cook them. It'll probably make about 3 patties, and hopefully they'll be tasty. So that's been sitting in the refrigerator overnight, and I need to cook that up. So I'll be doing that today, and the dehydrating, and working on my little cubbies. Alright, I will be back in a little bit, and we'll see what I'm going to put together for breakfast. Day 193. These are the little cubbies I'm going to be working on, and I took out all these little drawers because they all I have a mess going here on my table because I'm restyling things, but I need to move these canisters to a different spot. This is a candle holder that I used to have over there. It's like that one. I need to move those 2 into the living room, and then I have all these that all say home on them. Now that looks nice if you have just one cubby unit, but if you have 8 of them that all say home, it looks a little busy and ridiculous. So I'm going to remove this with nail polish remover. I already did a couple and it works great, and I need to do my nails anyway, so I'll be doing those. But that's what I'm going to be working on a little bit today. And then once I get all these need to be glued together because they're just individual units of 2 drawers each, then I'm going to hang my shelves here and restyle the shelves. But this I'll be using for spices. So when I dry my spices from my garden, I'll have a space for them. So each of these little cubbies holds 2 of these Dollar Tree candle holders, and I have a lot of these. So what I'm planning to do then is just on here, this will be gone, and I'll just write on here what the spice is. So I can store 16, no, 8, 16, 32 jars of spices in there once it's all done. And I think it'll look nice because the colors go with the original cabinet. And I always wanted a hutch for this thing, so rather than buying an expensive hutch, I'm going to do this and put up shelves. So, okay, I'll be back in a little bit and we'll see what's for breakfast. Good morning. Cheers. Grab yourself a coffee and let's have a little coffee chat this morning. First cup of the day is always the best, don't you agree? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm doing here in my house and what my objectives are, and how do I get from A to B. I do a lot of thinking when I do this process. It's not just all physical and just get in there and just do it. It's a lot of thinking about how I'm going to do it. I mean, this is the way I do things. It's a lot of thinking about how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to do it with, how I'm going to achieve whatever it is I want to achieve. So before I get started on that, I was talking earlier about these little drawers, right? If any of you have any good ideas of how to keep these from sticking and move easier in the little holder, let me know in the comments below. Now I'm trying some candle wax, and that seems to be a little better, but I don't know if I need to sand them a little so they're a little smaller or what. Anyway, if any of you have had this problem and you've solved it, let me know in the comments below how you did it. So that was a question I had. Another question I had was, I don't have a Cricut or anything like that, nor do I want to buy one. I don't need that. But if any of you have a good idea, now I don't want it this big, I want smaller lettering, of what I can do, and in the black, to letter some of these spices, let me know in the comments below, without buying a whole lot of machines and things like that. All right, so we got that out of the way. All right, this is going to be about, this little chat is going to be about making life easier, at least for me. And these are the steps that I want to take to organize my life, make it a little easier, and you guys know I've been going through that process. And I saw a post on Facebook the other day, and it really made a lot of sense. So I reposted it, and it said something to the effect, this isn't verbatim, of you spend the first 2/3 of your life gathering and buying things, and then you spend the last third of your life trying to get rid of them, and how rampant consumerism is in this society. And it's true. I've done it myself. I've been a big perpetrator of consumerism in the past. Not so much anymore, because now I realize that I have all this stuff and it's much easier to acquire it than it is to get rid of it. First of all, psychologically, it's difficult to get rid of things that you've paid good money for that are still good. And secondly, physically, like if you have bigger pieces of furniture or rugs or, whatever you have, it's much harder to get rid of things and find a home for them, and not just stick it in the trash, because I'm not a fan of doing that, just putting things in the trash because you don't know what to do with it. Because we have too much garbage as it is in landfills, and we as humans are pretty wasteful species. So anyway, I'm not going to get on a soapbox about that. But for me, once I get this process done, and I'm trying to do one room at a time, but it overspills into other rooms, because especially if you're doing redoing a room and you want to find new homes for those things that you're redoing, it'll spill over into another room maybe that you want to use that article in. But my whole goal for this process isn't to get rid of everything. It's not, because a lot of the things that I do have, I use or I want to use, and as I'm finding things, I am putting them to use. So my biggest goal is to decrease some clutter and to have everything that I do keep, to have a home that I can get to reasonably without things falling out of cupboards or jamming and cramming. I want to have enough room in my cupboards to easily put things away, or enough room in my closet to easily hang up clothes or fold t-shirts and have, not have to cram them somewhere. So that's my goal in this whole process. So for me, when I do a room, I want to ask myself a couple questions, and this is what I do. So I ask myself, what is going to be the function of this room? So for example, my living room is a place where I have my computer, my little computer desk. It's a portable computer desk. I have books in there. I store some candles in the little cubby drawers I have there, because I burn candles in that room a lot, that and in the kitchen. So that's the function of that room, and I want it to be comfortable for guests when they come over, so I want enough seating. It's a place where my dogs have a place where they can sleep. I have an old love seat that's really past its prime, but I'm keeping it for my dogs. The room would look much better without it, but I already got rid of my big sofa. And so right now I have a reasonable amount of things in my living room. So I keep photographs in there, some tchotchkes and things like that. So the living room's coming along nicely. Now I have ordered a new rug from Amazon. The rug that I have in there now, I'm going to put up in another bedroom that doesn't have a carpet. But the carpet that's in there now kind of doesn't go with the room anymore. It went with the room when I had a different color scheme. So I wanted a rug with some orange in it, and the rug that I ended up buying was like $100, and it's washable. And that's one thing that I wanted. The rug in there now is not washable. And with the dogs always laying around on it and hanging around in there, I wanted a washable rug. So I thought that was a very reasonable price to update the room. So that was really one of the last purchases that I wanted for that room, and that should be coming by the end of the week. So I asked myself, what is the function of this room? Like my dining room. My dining room is sort of my houseplant room. It's a room where I have a corner for painting supplies. It's on like a rolling cart, so I want to keep that in there. I have a zone for that. So creating zones in a room is what I do. That way I can put everything that goes with that function in one zone. Another thing that I have in there, which I haven't actually done in a long time, is I want to revamp my kombucha station. So I'll be doing that. So that room will have that function. And I put food out in there when I have family functions, but we always gather in my kitchen. Whenever I have my family, no matter what, we're all sitting around my little kitchen table, which I absolutely love. I love when people just gather together in one place. But my dining room has a table, it has chairs, people could spread out there. But nobody wants to feel isolated in there, so we all get together in my kitchen. But anyway, that will be the function of my dining room. I'll have some of my painting supplies, because I do have a craft room upstairs where I keep the majority of all that stuff, and it's my craft room / guest room. So, but I want something accessible down here so that I can easily pull it out, get my paintbrush, and do some painting. So that I'm doing again for future me. When I have everything organized, I would really like to do that. And then upstairs I have a plant room where last winter I did my starts, and I'm going to do that again this year. And I want to do an indoor garden up there. I was going to do it in the dining room, but I changed my mind because that's just going to be too much in the dining room. So I'm going to move all that stuff upstairs, and my objective of that is to grow some greens for the winter. I want to grow some microgreens, I want to grow lettuce, and things like that that are easy to grow inside. Another question I ask myself when I'm doing a room is, what do I want to achieve in that room? Do I want to get rid of things? Do I want to have less things in that room? Or do I want to keep what I have in that room and just organize it maybe in a different way so that things will be more tucked away and there won't be so much stuff out to look at? So if you don't have a dedicated room that you can have for each of your functions, you can have just a corner, like if you like crafting and knitting and things like that. Get yourself a little cabinet or a few shelves, and just keep all the like things with like. That's a big thing that I'm working on, is putting like with like. I don't want it so that I have kitchen utensils here and then I have them there, and I don't know what I have. So if I keep like with like, then I know what I have and I can go exactly to that place and get what I need. Another thing would be like if you have a lot of books, make an area, whether that's getting yourself a bookshelf or, making some DIY bookshelves out of pallets. If you don't have the money, you can build something for free. And then categorizing your books. Let's say you like to read novels, putting them in one spot, or you have a lot of gardening books or cookbooks or whatever it is you have, and categorize them so that you know where they are and they're not scattered all over your house. Another thing that I'm going to do that you might want to consider doing too if you're going through this process. Now for me, this is a big deal. It's a big process, the whole thing I'm talking about. But another thing that I want to do is if I feel like a room has too much decor or tchotchkes, but I still like those items, I want to get a box or two or a bin or whatever you have, put those items in there and tuck them away in your attic or your basement or whatever. And then when you get another wild hair and you want to redecorate or restyle a room, you go to that bin and you look through all your things, and that's your first go-to before you run out to the store and buy all new things. And some things you can even spray paint so that all the colors go together. If you have a red thing because your room used to be red and now you want to make your room white and it's a red statue, then you could paint the statue white and it would go perfectly in your room again. So that's one of the ways that I want to decrease some of the visual clutter in my rooms. Now, my kitchen has a lot of stuff, and as you know, I'm putting up more shelving, and I like to see what I have in as far as spices and cooking utensils. So some of that stuff I keep out because it's a working kitchen. It's not a non-functional kitchen, and I know people that don't cook, they may just want a few things on their counter and be good with it. But I use what I have on my counters. I have an air fryer, I have a mixer, I have a Ninja blender, I have a water kettle, I have a toaster oven, and all my coffee making equipment. But these are things that I use. I don't want to have to go to a cupboard every time I want to use these things and pull them out. So for me, it's okay as long as I have enough room on my counters, which now I have the cart that I cleared off. It's fine. I don't mind having that stuff on my counters. So it all depends on what is your goal for that room, what is the function of that room, and how are you going to achieve getting to that point. Now, if you're disabled and you can't do these things yourself, you might want to enlist the help of a friend. I know a lot of people that are on disability don't have the money to pay an organizer. If you do, that's wonderful, but you might want to reach out to your community and see if they have any things that might help you to maybe get to where you want to be. Because sometimes they have like high school kids or other seniors that are volunteers, and somebody might be willing to help you out with that. So in that process too, I was thinking the other day, my gardening takes up a lot of work. I enjoy it. I've always got 100 projects going here and there. What if, this is a what if question, what if I just stopped doing it? What if I wanted more time? Now this is just an example, I'm not going to. What if I wanted more time to paint and that was a bigger priority than my gardening? Or what if I wanted to spend more time with friends and I didn't want to spend so much time in my home? What if I just stopped doing that thing? What would happen? Would the earth come to a standstill? No, it wouldn't. So if there's things in your life that you've been doing and you keep doing and you really aren't getting much pleasure out of them anymore, think about what would happen if you just stopped, if you stopped doing that thing. So anyway, I just wanted to have a little chat about that. It's a little too early for breakfast for me, so I think I'm going to work on taking some of this writing off of here. And I know the nail polish remover works, but again, if you guys have any tricks of how I can get these drawers to move in and out of the holder a little easier, I'd really appreciate it if you let me know in the comments below. Alright, I'll be back in a little bit and we'll work on that breakfast sausage that I mixed up yesterday, and hopefully it turns out good. Alright, I got all the lettering off. Got a coat of polish on my nails. I have to do one more coat. This is CoverGirl gel. Let's see, the color is, no, it's Maybelline, not CoverGirl. And the color is Wicked Berry. And it's fast drying. So I like this color. Alright, so now I have to glue all these together and work on that a little bit, but I need to go to Walmart and get some good holding glue. I'm going to get some Gorilla Glue and I'm going to use that, and I'm also going to use my glue gun to keep them together. So that's the plan. But anyway, let's have some breakfast. So let's see what's for breakfast. Day 193. Okay. I'm going to make this sausage meat. And in here I still have a little bit of cauliflower. So, and in here I have still some marinade from the Fake and Bacon. I think I'm going to put some of this on one of the sausages, because why not? Alright, I'm going to have that, and I think I'm going to have a sausage sandwich. So I'm going to have a hard roll back there. I need 2 hands for that, and an egg, and I'm going to have another piece of cheese on it too. So let's make a sausage sandwich, and I will meet you at the stove. Okay, I have my roll in my air fryer, and I'm going to add a little bit of grapeseed oil to a pan because sausages are a little bit fatty, but I don't want mine to be too fatty. So just a little bit, and I also sprayed a little bit of mesquite cooking spray. And if you go online, they have different flavors of cooking spray that you can buy. And I don't know if they have those at Walmart or not, but you can buy smoked flavored cooking spray. Alright, so here I have my sausage, and I divided it in 4. So I'm going to make 4 patties out of this. And my rolls are kind of oval, so I'm going to make an oval shape instead of a round one. But you can make them square, you know, if you want them for a sandwich. You can make them any shape you want. And I'm going to let this heat up a little bit before I put my faux sausage in there. Now I have no idea if this is going to be tasty or not because I haven't made this before. And this is an off-the-cuff recipe. And if you didn't see how I made the sausage patties, well, the sausage meat, check out yesterday's video where I show you what I put into it. Alright. And then I'm going to have this with an egg. Oh. My roll is done. My kitchen beeps at me a lot. And I don't like real fat patties. I don't like real fat burger patties. I don't like real fat sausage patties. So that's about how thick I'm going to make them. But if you like fat patties, then make yourself a fat patty. Alright, this should be warm enough now. Hopefully I can get all 4 of these in the pan, but I don't know. Alright, there we go. Yep, we got some sizzle going. And I have this on like a medium heat. Oh yay, they all fit. Okay, you don't need to watch this sizzle, so I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so 2 of these, I put some of that bacon marinade on. And the other 2 I just left plain. They have a little bit of char on them, which is nice. Gives it a smoky flavor. So, okay, 4 sausage patties, depending on how much you eat. It can be 4 meals, or it can be 2 meals, or it can be 1 meal. But I'm going to put together my sandwich here. So I melted a little cheese on half, and on the other half I have some Dijonnaise. I've been buying this for years. It's by Hellman's. It's really tasty. I'm almost out. And I need to make an egg, so I'll be back when I get that done. Alright, my egg is done, my sausage is done. It's perfectly on my roll. And I think this still has a little bit of a soft yolk. It does, which is just what I want. Alright. So there we have it. Breakfast, day 193, homemade sausage sandwich, and I hope it's good. So let me give it a taste. It's going to be messy. Alright, here we go. Whoa, there goes the yolk. Alright. Tastes really good. Has a good flavor. I would make this again. I'm going to try the one with the bacon glaze. Try that one too. Looks like meat. That's good too. All right, I would call this a success. So I think I would like it better with Impossible meat or Beyond meat. Like I said, the Aldi's grounds are not my favorite. It tends to be a little on the dry side. This isn't dry, but depending on what you're making, the Aldi's grounds tend to be a little bit on the dry side. So alright, I'm going to eat this and work on some projects. I really need to go to Walmart, and I really don't want to. But I still need sandpaper and glue. Sandpaper and glue. So I don't know. I may bite the bullet and go. We'll see. All right, well, I made a little bit of progress on my project here. I glued all these little cubbies together and put these clamps on there. So I'm going to let those dry overnight till tomorrow. And then I can put some non-skid material on there, and I'm just going to set those on top of this cabinet. I'm not going to attach those to the wall or anything. So that's what I got done on that today. But let's look and see what's for dinner. And I've got a big mess going here. All this stuff now needs to find a new home because this was on top of there. So, but I'll get it figured out. But in the meantime, let's see what's for dinner. Day 193. Okay. I have this cauliflower left that I want to eat. And I have my meatloaf that I made yesterday. And also the pasta salad. So there's the pasta salad and the meatloaf, and I'm going to have a cold meatloaf sandwich. That sounds good. So I'm going to have some mustard and one of these burger buns. All right. Oh, and another thing I want to get out of here that I made a while back are these these marinated onions. So I'm going to have some of those. All right. I will meet you at the stove. Okay. I heated up my roll a little bit in the microwave just to soften it up a little bit because it was in the refrigerator. And I'm just going to put some mustard on here. And I hope it doesn't come shooting out, but it probably will. Yeah, it's good. Alright, just a little bit of mustard. And then I'm going to cut a couple pieces of this meatloaf. Not too thick. I don't like it real thick. And I always did like cold meatloaf sandwich. I think I like those better than warm. Kind of hard to cut it in this container, but it'll be fine. Okay. All right, there we go. And I'm not going to do anything real fancy with this. So I tasted my marinated onions, and I had marinated these in olive juice and a couple of other little things. I don't like them at all. So those will be going. I still have the pasta salad. And I'm going to eat this cauliflower cold. And I think I'm going to mix it with the pasta. But I'm going to add a little bit of tahini. It's good on veggies. And just give that a mix. And that'll be my veggies for today. And then I'm going to add some pasta salad to that. And I have enough pasta salad after this for maybe one more meal. I have enough of the not meatloaf for another couple meals anyway. But I want to finish up the cauliflower. So let me give this a little taste. You can also add a little bit more dressing to the pasta and the cauliflower. No, that's good enough. All right. That is going to be my dinner. Day 153. Now you can put whatever you like on your cold meatloaf. I'm just keeping it simple. And that's what I'm going to have. All right. There it is. Dinner, day 193. In case you're wondering why I'm smiling at this, I take a picture for the end of the video. So there's that. Let me give it a taste. And you can put cheese on here, whatever you want. You can eat this kind of like a burger, but I just want a cold meatloaf sandwich. And we'll try the pasta with the cauliflower. All right. So that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.